The long-awaited and highly requested new AnimeUproar shirts are finally here. Introducing Bon, Love the Pain, created by pro manga artist Kuzomari. And also Escanor, All Hail the One. Escanor in his The One form, also created by Kuzomari. If you want to get these new shirts and support the channel at the same time, check out AnimeUproar.com, link in the description. What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today we will be talking about the end of the 7 Deadly Sins manga. After a bunch of chapters called Epilogue and a chapter called Goodbye 7 Deadly Sins, the story is now over and, you know, everyone lived happily ever after and all that stuff. Oh wait, that's not what happened? There was a huge twist at the end of this chapter that changed everything? There might still be a whole other arc coming, if not more? Yes, that's right. I can't believe how badly Nakaba Suzuki, the creator of the 7 Deadly Sins, just trolled all of us. This is actually hilarious to me. I always thought that there were way too many unsolved mysteries left in the story to have the manga end so soon, but I have to admit that with the chapters called Epilogue and all the seemingly happy ending stuff, even I started to think that yeah, maybe it's over, but hey, at least we still have the new season of the anime coming in the fall and all that stuff. But no, I was just trolled huge. We all were. And we need to talk about what happened in chapter 310. If you enjoy the 7 Deadly Sins content on this channel, you can leave a like to let me know. And if you're new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And of course, this video will discuss the latest developments in the 7 Deadly Sins story, so please proceed with caution, manga spoilers ahead. So the chapter begins with Elizabeth preparing to leave this mortal plane and enter the demon realm together with Meliodas. It's an emotional farewell during which Elizabeth reflects on how much she will miss her family and friends, but she feels that it is her destiny to follow Meliodas so that they could finally be together. After 3,000 years of suffering, who can blame them? Their love has transcended time and overcome even divine obstacles, so the two of them should definitely do whatever it takes for them to be together. Meanwhile, all the Sins are looking pretty glum because of the fact that Elizabeth and Meliodas are about to leave, and they ask Merlin about what the demon world is really like. Merlin says that it's a polluted land where powerful Indura demonic beasts roam freely. The impurities of the demon world will rot away the souls and bodies of members of other races except the demons. However, because Elizabeth was originally a goddess and because she possesses unique magical abilities, she should be able to survive. At least that's what we are led to believe, although it is worth noting that the current Elizabeth was born in a human body, so I don't know how confident I feel that she would be able to survive in the demon realm for an entire lifetime. Nevertheless, everyone has come to accept Elizabeth's decision because she was so steadfast and sure of herself after she made it. At first, some of the Sins are surprised that Elizabeth would be so brave and strong, but Merlin reminds them that during the last Holy War, Elizabeth was part of Stigma, the alliance which fought against the demons and hated all demons. And yet, Elizabeth had the courage and strength to tell them that Meliodas, the son of the Demon King, is her lover and that he would be joining their alliance. Now that I think about it, Elizabeth has definitely had a lot of growth and development as a character. You could argue that at first, even though she is brave and definitely committed to doing what's right, she's also kinda ditzy and naive. However, as the story goes on, and especially after we learn her true identity, Elizabeth definitely becomes a more interesting and impressive character overall. We then witness some heartfelt moments between the Sins. When asked what he will miss about this world, Meliodas says that he would have liked to see his kid and Bond's kid fighting. And yeah, that is the perfect Meliodas answer, and I can definitely see Bond's kids and Meliodas' kids carrying on the friendly rivalry of their fathers. Just like randomly arm wrestling and fighting each other while everyone else looks on in total confusion. Anyway, King at the end then say, oh, but what about their kid? And I can't help but also think about the potential of Merlin and Escanor having a child sometime in the future. By the way, which kid do you think would be the strongest? And while we're on the topic, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at AnimeUproar and vote for your favorite name for the Son of Wrath, the son of Meliodas and Elizabeth that we created with the help of pro manga artist Kuzomari. We chose the 4 most popular and best name ideas in our opinion, and the winning name will be determined by you guys. Also, a video about a new potential 7 Deadly Sins baby is currently in the works, so definitely stay tuned for that. Moving on, Meliodas then warns that even if the fighting between the clans has stopped for now, this doesn't mean that there will be a lasting peace between the demons and the other races. There is still potential for another holy war to break out in the future, and already in the holy wars of the past, so many huge sacrifices were made, including Arthur, who Meliodas believed would have made a great king. This implies again that Arthur really died, but I've always said that I find the idea of Arthur being dead and gone for good unlikely. Knowing how much the Seven Deadly Sins has been inspired by Arthurian legend, I expect that Arthur will return in some shape or form before the series is over. That's just my hunch, but feel free to agree or disagree down in the comments. At this point, Meliodas expresses remorse because he has spent over 3,000 years trying to break Elizabeth's curse, neglecting other people along the way, including his younger brother Zeldris. However, the Sins tell Meliodas that he has saved them all and that he is a good person, which is why Elizabeth fell for him in the first place. Meliodas thanks them and says that he is who he is today because of the Sins, and they all share a tearful, emotional moment. As the Sins and their friends approach a gate to the demon world that Merlin created, the 7 deadly sins are officially disbanded and everyone says their final goodbyes outside the gate. Meliodas asks Hawk if he wants to go with them since Hawk is a creature from Purgatory, so he would be able to survive in the demon world. But Hawk says that he first wants to visit Purgatory and see what it's like, because he now knows that that's where he was born, and he also wants to erect a gravestone in memory of his brother Wild. To be honest, going off to Purgatory on his own doesn't sound like the Hawk we know, but Hawk is growing as a character. And he might bring his mama along for the ride, in which case I am not worried for his safety in the least. As a symbol of her resolve, Elizabeth walks towards the gate first without turning back. Meliodas, lagging a bit behind, turns around to wave at everyone one last time. However, in that very moment, a massive chunk of the cliff above them suddenly collapses on top of Elizabeth. Everyone is in utter shock, especially Meliodas, as it appears that Elizabeth was crushed beneath the rubble. The name of the next chapter, and yeah, you better believe that there's a next chapter, is, and I quote, "It's not over yet." The text on the final page says, "The curse continues," implying that Meliodas somehow failed to remove Elizabeth's curse after all. And wow, what an absolute troll. We were taken on this ride of a relatively happy ending for weeks, multiple chapters were teasing it, and then BAM! After everything Meliodas and Elizabeth went through to break the curse, Elizabeth apparently dies anyway. Now, this is the 7 deadly sins, so whether or not Elizabeth actually died is not clear, although she was definitely crushed under the rubble. On the final page, we see her purse crushed by the rocks, and there also appears to be blood around it. So, how could this happen? In chapter 306, we saw both curses, the one placed on Meliodas and the one placed on Elizabeth, given visual form by Merlin and then being visibly destroyed by Meliodas. The only thing that I can think of is that the Supreme Deity is behind this latest twist. We've been talking for weeks about how the Supreme Deity hasn't really played a role in the story, even though she is a divine being whose power rivals the Demon King. And it is possible that either Meliodas' demonic power was unable to fully remove Elizabeth's curse because the Supreme Deity's power is different from the Demon King's power, or perhaps the curse was actually removed and someone deliberately did something in order to cause the cliff to collapse, meaning that this was no random accident related to the curse. It is possible that the Supreme Deity, furious at the latest turn of events and at the fact that the curse she placed on Elizabeth has been broken, decided to finally emerge from the celestial realm and face off against Elizabeth and the 7 deadly sins once and for all. Either way, it appears that we might be in for another whole arc in the story, and my guess is that this will be the long-awaited Supreme Deity arc. We are now learning more about the demon realm as Meliodas and Elizabeth were preparing to live there, so it would make perfect sense for the celestial realm to come into play at this time as well. After all, in chapter 310, Meliodas was just talking about the fact that the war between the different clans is not yet over. And even if the Demon King has been defeated for good, as long as the Supreme Deity continues to rule over the celestial realm, she will still want to destroy all the demons. The Sins can't expect a lasting peace by just defeating the Demon King. In order to secure a lasting peace, they have to defeat the Supreme Deity as well. After all, it takes two to tango, and both the Demon King and the Supreme Deity have been actively encouraging members of their clans to destroy each other for thousands of years. I have to admit that even though I've been saying for a very long time that we need to see the Supreme Deity play a role in the story, I was not expecting this type of twist, and I honestly don't know what they're going to do with Elizabeth. Did she actually die and Meliodas now needs to wait for her to be reincarnated again? Or will her special goddess powers protect her so she will actually survive the rubble with maybe some injuries? One thing is for sure, I can't wait to see what happens in the next chapter. Let me know what you guys think. Is Elizabeth really dead? And if not, how do you think she will survive? Also, what do you think just happened? Is the curse really still there? Or did someone else cause the cliff to collapse, perhaps the Supreme Deity? Let me know down in the comments, I'd love to hear from you, especially now that I myself don't know what to exactly make of this. Man, what a huge troll. Thanks, Nakaba Suzuki. Very cool. If you enjoyed the 7 Deadly Sins content on this channel, don't forget to leave a like to let me know. And if you're new to AnimeUproar, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, don't forget to check out our brand new Bon, Love the Pain, and Escanor All Hail the One shirts on AnimeUproar.com. A huge thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons for supporting our work. I want to especially thank our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Keelon, and Chubbs is the man. And another huge thank you to our The One tier patrons, the ones who stand above all other clans, including Ace, Maddie Mac, James, Alolan Ingrata, and Ahmad. And at the very pinnacle of interdimensional greatness, the tier reserved only for legends. A massive thank you to Baby Ray, the first ever disciple of Lord Twigo himself. If you guys feel that our content provides value for you and you want to support more, be sure to check out our Patreon link in the description. Even donating a single dollar will give you access to our AnimeUproar patron exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, I really appreciate it. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.